Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. Wade in the water. Wade in the water, children. Wade in the water. God's gonna trouble the water.
Sandra Bland.
Trayvon Martin.
People say, give them their flowers while they're still here. But sometimes people's flowers are crushed.
I was just wearing a hoodie.
I just walked out the door.
I was just being followed by a cop.
I just forgot a turn signal. And look at me now.
Pass me not, my gentle Savior. Hear my humble cry. While on other storms art calling, do not pass me by. Speak, my child.
Suspicious. Everyone always talks about the negative things in my life. The tattoos, the weed, the graffiti. Forget all that. Let's look at the other side. All I ever wanted to do was learn how to fly and fix planes. Suspicious. I joined Experience Aviation, a 7-week program for planes in 2009. I had high hopes to attend the University of Miami or Florida A&M. I washed cars, babysat, cut grass for money. I was walking to the store one night to get some Skittles and an Arizona tea. Suspicious. It was raining, so I had on my hoodie, and I was looking at things very intently to familiarize myself in the neighborhood when this man on the phone started following me. Suspicious. Apparently, he called the cops because I looked suspicious, but I had no reason to be afraid. I was doing nothing wrong, and I was unarmed. So why did he follow me? Moments later, he stopped me, and we argued, but that's all it was, arguing. And so what? I wore a hoodie. Is it a crime? No. It was me being stereotyped and up to no good on drugs or something. And because I was considered suspicious, I was the one that got shot. And he pulled the trigger out of self-defense. Self-defense? More like suspicion. February 26, 2012. And look at me now, Trayvon Martin.
Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home.
Bastrop County, a unique blending of old and new is where I live. A very rowdy neighborhood, but the most noise I ever heard was from my boyfriend Willie. Ooh, Willie was something else, especially when he got a bad side. He always carried a gun with him, claiming that he needed to protect himself. But I told Willie, if that's what he needed to do, then do it. Just make sure you're safe. He made his choices, I made mine. It was getting late. Real late. Way too late for anybody to be making a whole lot of noise. I was getting sleepy. And I was headed for bed when Willie and the person he associated himself with, I think his name was Bubba or something, started arguing about some petty nonsense. Now, I knew Willie and I knew how he got when he was irritated. And also, I was in the presence of a gun. Now, I knew Willie wouldn't shoot me with it, but it was the fact that he had it in this heated moment. So yes, I called the police. I was afraid things were about to get really ugly. Shortly after, there was a sudden banging on my door. Willie went to go check it out. He was always the brave one. Deputy Daniel Willis. I'll never forget him. Started asking Willie questions about what could be going on at this time of night. You know, what could the black people be possibly doing at this time of night? I made my way halfway out the door to see what was going on with Willie and the police. The last image I remember seeing is a .223 caliber rifle marking its path for my head. February 16, 2014. And look at me now. Yvette Smith.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I found. Was blind, but now I see. Tell your story, brother.
For nothing. I was always told to write an autobiography to graduate from Howard University, but it was quite hard to find myself in all. Prince Jones Jr. from New Orleans, Louisiana, born 1975. My parents always looked after me, and I ended up at an HBCU, Howard University, where I met my fiance, Candace Jackson. We had a child before the incident, and I was on my way to see Candace when I was stopped by a cop and ended up being shot 6 times, 1 in my shoulder and 5 in my back. September 1st, 2000, and look at me now, Prince Jones Jr.
Take me to the king. I don't have much to bring. My heart is torn to pieces. It's my offering. Lay me at the throne. Leave me there alone to gaze upon your glory and sing to you this song. Take me to the king. Tell your story, angel.
Hello, my beautiful kings and queens. Today is November 21st, 2015, and today's topic is on white people. White people, yes, we get it. All lives matter. What I need y'all to understand is that it's very hard being black in America. And although you all love to say, oh, we don't see race, people are the reason for racism. Well, what kind of people are the reason? White people have the power to control, whereas blacks do not. White people have the power to control and influence blacks. And because of this, I need everyone to realize Black Lives Matter. Mom, I found a job in Texas and I'm going to fight injustice in the South. Were these my last words? No. My last words were, I'm honestly at a loss out of this whole process. How did me turning lanes without a turn signal turn into all of this? And by this whole process, I mean everything after the cop pulled me over. How was I supposed to react when he told me to put out my harmless cigarette? And I said no, which resulted to me being demanded to step out of the car. How was I supposed to react when that police officer told me he was gonna light me up? How was I supposed to react when I was pinned to the ground and I told the police I had epilepsy and he said good? I should have been ushered to a hospital for health and safety reasons, but instead, I was thrown into a jail cell. What happened 3 days later, I was found dead by supposedly wrapping a plastic noose around my neck. July 13, 2015. And look at me now, Sandra Bland.
Black privilege is the hung elephant swinging in the room. Black privilege is the memory of a slave ship waiting for Alzheimer's to kick in. Black privilege is already having memorized
My nephew's eulogy.
My brother's eulogy.
My mother's eulogy.
Black privilege is pretending like my sister's name is safe from the list. Black privilege is pretending to know all the victims on a first name basis. It's using the victim's name to win a poetry slam. Black privilege is pretending to know all of the victims. Black privilege is having the same sense of humor as Jesus. Remember how he laughed on the cross the same way that Malcolm X laughed at his bullet? And there I go again, asserting my black privilege by using a dead man's name without his permission. I can feel his bones congregating in my mouth. Black privilege
It's a myth.
It's a joke.
It's a punchline.
is the time a teacher asked a young boy what he wanted to be when he grew up. And he said,
Alright.
black privilege is when she smiled and said,
There's no college for you. That ignorance is the only thing that won't discriminate against you.
It's the only thing that don't need a tombstone to learn your name.
it's tiring, you know, for everything about my skin to be a metaphor, for everything black intended to be pun intended, to be death intended.
Black privilege is the applause at the end of this poem.
I tried writing a love poem the other day, but my fingers wouldn't move. My skin started to blister like I had forsaken it for something prettier, something smoother to wrap around my body, like I traded in my noose for a pearl necklace.
Some days I'm afraid to look into the mirror for fear that a bullet has just George Zimmerman its way into my chest while I was asleep.
Black privilege is knowing that if I die,
At least Al Sharpton will show up to my funeral. At least Al Sharpton will make me dry my mother's tears.
Black privilege is me thinking that's enough. It's me thinking this poem is enough.
Black privilege is this. It's the breath in my lungs right now. Black privilege is me standing right here with a crowd full of witnesses to my beating. Heartbeat.
to the injustice and violence in the world, silence is not the answer. To the pain and heartache of losing a loved one, hiding is not the answer. To the pain and suffering of a people, hiding is not the answer. Speak to the heavens for freedom. Speak to that pain so that change may come. Speak to the younger generations. Speak, my people.
Yes.
At my people.
Stand